legs crossed right over left in Sukhasana, sitting on the bolster. And have a few moments to cross over into a different mode of being, experiencing, and approaching the body. Allow a different pace, different tone, different texture to emerge very naturally. And everything else to simply settle into place. Once you feel that initial shift, there is no rush. Shift into a different space of mind, body, emotions, energy, spirit. Then gently drop forward. Let this state be your new foundation or baseline to draw on and work from throughout the rest of class. Do what you can if the mind wanders or temptations to be distracted arise, to simply reestablish and build upon this feeling right now to deeper and deeper layers of it. Through the breath, through attention, through awareness, through feeling, through observation, through exploration. And I'd invite you, without attachment or judgment or opinions, to track the changes wherever they arise as we go along. Continuing to practice the modes of consciousness that we've been cultivating, intentionally feeling or intentionally observing, and the similarity and the difference between the two. If you're feeling, then really feel. If you're observing, then really observe. Slowly come up, if necessary, pause at the top, take a moment, eventually switch the cross of your legs and drop forward again. In addition, continue to cultivate the interior muscle of discernment between what's changing and what's not changing. So lest those instructions and invitations become too much, or you start to think about them or try to figure them out in a frontal lobe, brain-based, analytical sort of way, keep it simple. Feeling, observing, one at a time, and at the same time, tracking the changes wherever they appear on any of the kosha layers. And then tuning into or contemplating that which is not changing. Slowly come up. Again, if you need to take a pause for a moment or two, no need to rush. Then eventually set up Uttanasana, or standing forward fold, with your feet hip width. If you need to bring the bolster around in front of you for your hands, feel free. Otherwise, hands to the floor. And go straight into the forward fold, kind of from the ground up, building it, rather than starting in Tadasana, standing mountain pose. As always, have part of your attention intentionally with your alignment. But don't be so obsessively concerned with it. Mostly feel, mostly observe, mostly track the changes, mostly notice what's not changing. But feet are hip width, knees are straight, backs of your legs are perpendicular to the floor, spine, arms, head, neck, heavy, passive, under gravity. Breath fluid. And let the rest happen for you, whatever the rest may be. bolster. Lift your head, lift your gaze, look up. Move your eyeballs up into your forehead. Look across the room to the wall or maybe even the ceiling, or where the wall and the ceiling meet. Extend your spine, which means each vertebra is sliding toward the front side of your body. Very subtly, chest, heart space moves toward the floor, shoulders away from your ears, and every other vertebra doing the same thing. But as always, be mindful of your edge, no need to overdo it. Base it on sensation, what's happening for you right now. As long as it's mild to moderate and manageable, you stay with it. If it's too much or more than that, or starting to create reaction, then just back off. Good. Continue extending your spine. Bring your hands to your hips. Hands to your hips, squeeze your elbows toward each other, pointing toward the ceiling. Bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana, sink your hips. Slide your hips back to the same degree with which you sink your hips and bend your knees. Lift your spine even more. So hips down, spine up, continuing that spinal extension. The vertebrae moving toward the front side of your body. Weight goes into your heels. It's as though you could look down and see your toes beyond your knees. So you don't have to do that, just feel it. Either eyes steadily gazing at a fixed point or softly closed. Good. Remember to breathe. Be specific about what you're feeling, what you're observing, what's changing, what's not changing. Stand all the way up, arms and hands by your side. Pause. No need to rush. No need to jump to what's next. What's here now? What's different? Physically, mentally, energetically, emotionally, spiritually, since we began. What has not changed? Steady stream of awareness. Constant consciousness. Good. Bring your feet mat width now and line the outer edges of your feet with the edges of the mat, so you'll be a little pigeon-toed, and be specific about that. Be precise, no part of the mat showing outside of your feet. Hands to your hips, gently squeeze your elbows back, and gently squeeze your elbows back without so much pressing your chest forward. So it's just a shoulder movement. Feel that mobility and maybe even some restriction in the shoulder itself, the shoulder joint, the shoulder girdle, collarbone area. And mind the edge. No need to go past. Good. Keeping that, find Utkatasana chair pose again from standing with feet mat width. So sink your hips, bend your knees, spine curves, vertebrae extending toward the front side of your body with a nice and symmetrical, as much as possible, trajectory of upper back, mid back, low back. Good. Feel the difference. Observe the difference. Again, either gazing at a fixed point or eyes closed, breath steady, smooth, fluid. It's soft and easy. Nothing forceful, nothing strained. Good. Straight from Utkatasana to Uttanasana, forward fold. Extend your knees, drop down, hands to the floor or the bolster. Find it again. Backs of your legs perpendicular, knees extending. Upper body as light as possible. Most of the weight in legs and feet, but balance it out as appropriate. Again, not based on a thought or an idea, based on feeling, based on sensation only. For the next little bit, continue all the pointings that I've been giving, but mostly press your intention into that unchanging, unmoving place of stillness. If it seems not accessible or out of reach, that's okay. At least make an attempt. And be mostly in that. Changes are happening, breath is coming and going, sensations are shifting, the environment is different, sounds, noises, light, shadow, thoughts coming and going. And there's a baseline of stillness, baseline of presence, baseline of awareness, a baseline of yourself. That's always already unchanging, unaffected, unafraid, unmoved. Good. And from here to come up, uncoil all the way up with your head heavy, kind of like ragdoll. Roll your spine, hang your arms one vertebra at a time. Take a moment to pause at the top. Feel, check in. It's not yoga if the mind, in a mindful way, is not on board. So any of these cues, any of these pointings, staying mostly in at least an attempt of the unchanging place. The ultimate reality is what I'm pointing to in the unnamed Kaliana way 5 basics. Be mostly there. And be aware of everything that's arising, everything that you're doing, every thought, every movement, but not attaching to any of it that's changing. Let it change, let it flow, let it come, let it go. You remain. Good. Now, if your bolster is still on the mat, move it out of the way. Turn to face the long edge of your mat. Spread your legs wide, prasarita, feet far apart. Line the back of your heels up it's helpful to use the back edge of the mat, but it's not necessary. You can feel it or eyeball it. The backs of your heels parallel in the same line. Start with your toes straight forward. And then ever so slightly shift your heels out. Not too much, just a little. Again, building it from the ground up. Connect through the soles of your feet. Feel the entire sole of both feet connecting with the ground. Toes are soft, not gripping or grabbing. You can even feel like the muscles of the soles of your feet are breathing, porous, connecting energetically even to the earth beneath the floor. That's your foundation physically and energetically. Build on that as you stack your joints. Knees are extending, hips, spine, shoulders, head, neck, everything neutral. Good. From this foundational kinesthetic psychosomatic awareness, gently squeeze your feet toward the midline, isometrically. So they're not actually going to slide, they're not actually going to move, but it's as though you wanted to create a wrinkle in the mat. Pay attention to your inner leg line muscles engaging. You don't have to do it with brute force or strength. Do it gently, do it mindfully. Use the least amount of effort and energy to make that happen, to get that action, and to keep it. Do most of this primarily from consciousness, not as a body, but from awareness, exploring the body, feeling the body, observing the body, not doing so much. If you've relaxed that engagement, that isometric squeeze, bring it back, and just notice how easy it is to lose it. And why did you lose it? Did the muscles actually get tired? Or did you lose focus, mindfulness, attention? Good. Before we move to something else, right here where you are, check in what you're feeling, what has changed since we began, what has not changed, where is your center of gravity, what do you feel, what do you observe, what's the new foundation or baseline, the overall interior space that you're inhabiting. And build on this for the second half of the practice. If the mind wanders, if temptations for distraction arise, reestablish this feeling, this texture right now. Take your time, step together, take a little walk. Just feel, just move, not shaking or stretching or testing anything out. Just a little reset, just cleansing the palate, integrating the work we've done so far. Turn that way and place me. And as you come back, set up that prasarita, leg spread wide again. Maybe a little wider, maybe a little narrower, up to you. And Garrett and Christy are giving you a couple of different perspectives here. Bring your hands to your hips this time. Without me calling out all the details or the cues, set up the posture with subtle attention to detail and alignment from the ground up. Feet, joints, hips, spine, and then bring your mind into it. Otherwise, it's just exercise. Bring your intention, your attention to all of the interior components that I've been calling out so far. Good. And then bring that gentle squeeze back to the midline, as though you wanted to wrinkle the mat. Notice also if your feet have a tendency to roll to the inside or the outside edge. And without overcompensating, just gently balance it out. If to the outer edge, a little more attention to the inner edge. If to the inner edge, a little more attention to the outer edge. Good. Now, slide your right hand down and find that indentation. There's an indentation where the femur bone plugs into the hip socket. So normally when I say put your hands on your hips, it's a little further up at like the butterfly wings of your hips, called the iliac crests. Slide your right hand down, it's usually just a few inches, and find that first little indentation. Good. Now, gently press your right hand into your right hip indentation there. Slide your hips to the left. Gently lean the torso to the right. And just explore. Don't think triangle pose. Don't reference other yoga classes or styles. Simply feel. And specifically, look for the possibility of sensation which indicates a restriction in your right groin. You can find it. If it's not there, no problem. It's not wrong. But very likely, as you press your right hand into your hips, slide your hips to the left, lean the torso to the right, something will appear in your right inner leg line, your right groin. Continue squeezing your legs together. This is an active posture, maybe a little intense, but do it gently, mindfully. With most of your center of gravity in that unchanging place. In order to be there, some attention and discernment needs to be on what's changing, but not being moved by it, not thinking about it, not doing anything with it. Sensations changing, thoughts changing, sounds changing, environment changing, breath changing. That which is not. Be there. Good. Back up to center, reset. Hands in the normal hip position. Take a moment, no need to rush. Don't go to the next thing until you've gathered as many parts of yourself together into the experience. Don't just blindly move the body. Slide your left hand down, find that crease. Notice it might be in a slightly different place. Might feel slightly different. Referencing the first side, but without trying to repeat it. Press your left hand, shift your hips to the right, torso to the left. As the torso is going to the left, it's not necessarily curving or twisting, just leaning. Everything pretty neutral. And look for the edge of that sensation in your left groin. Feel it, observe it, be with it. Back up to center, take a moment, feel, observe what has changed, what has not. What is your new space inhabited interiorly? And right away, we're not going to take a walk. Right away, come down to hands and knees. Here, you can turn your mat back. In Virasana. Feel free to fold your mat if you need extra padding, but have your knees as wide as your mat. Tops of your feet on the floor and your toes pointing towards each other. So heels are moving away, toes are pointing towards each other. And then begin to sink your hips down, either sitting on your feet, or if you'd like to sit on the end of the bolster, then bring the bolster between your heels. But you'd be sitting on the end of the bolster, not on the side. And base that decision on sensation only. If it's mild to moderate and manageable, not causing reaction without the bolster, then don't use the bolster. If at any time reactions do occur, then feel free to bring the bolster. Make sure that you're not sitting on your heels. Heels are outside of your hips, whether you're sitting on the bolster or not. Good. Hands are resting however they'd like to rest. Spine is neutral. Eyes are resting, either closed or softly gazing. Allow everything to settle, just like the first Sukhasana. And I'd like to bring your attention to the always alreadiness of reality itself. So we've been working with feeling, sensation, observing without reacting. Notice that feeling and observing both are already always happening. You do not have to make them be or make them happen. You can bring your attention to that they're happening. So when I say feel, it's really notice the always already feeling that's occurring. When I say observe, notice the always already observing that's occurring. And likewise, the always already unchanging awareness. You don't have to try for it not to change. You don't have to try not to react. You don't have to try to stay neutral. You don't have to try to be aware. Always, already, before you even look, be in that immediacy. Every sound is always already registered in awareness. Every image always already seen. Every thought always already noticed. And that always already-ness is one facet of the unchanging, unmoving, ultimate reality. The unchanging, unmovingness is not static, frozen, rigid. It's very much alive with what's arising in the phenomenal world. Always already you are here. You are experiencing. And that's a miracle. Every feeling, every sensation, every emotion, always already fully felt. But how conscious are you of that is the question. If at any time this becomes unmanageable or too much sensation, then either sit on a bolster, bring your hands to the floor, lift your hips for a little break, or just stand up, take a walk. No need to overdo it. Now, bring your hands to grab your heels or your ankles with your thumbs on the inside, your fingers on the outside, just to hold your feet in place. So your feet are going to stay in that same angle with the toes pointing towards each other, heels moving away. As much as possible with your hands, keep your feet in that angle as you bring your knees closer together. And this kind of brings a torsion traction to a deeper angle in the ankles. Once you have that, let your hands rest again, folded in your lap, or on your knees or thighs. Every word that I'm saying is already happening in the unchanging, always already space of consciousness. So it's not just in between the silences or in between the poses when we're setting up something else and we're talking about alignment or knees closer together or sensation or lift your hips. That too, always already experienced. Direct unchangingly. And the silence, and your breath, and your thoughts, and whatever's being released, and whatever's arising, either randomly or as a part of the practice. Changing, 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 always already here. It's just we're using yoga practice, the context of these shapes, these poses, this ancient tradition for that exploration. But always means always, already means already. Keep knees, feet, hips as they are, and drop your torso down towards your thighs. Arms extend in front of you, just passive, elbows bending. Keep your hips as heavy as possible, but they might lift a little bit. So it's kind of a child's pose, but with primary alignment in Virasana. Because of the alignment in your hip sockets, in your knees, and your ankles, then you might not be able to go as far down. Feel that, honor that, respect that. Simply because of limitation or anatomy or sensation, and that's perfect. Keep your knees bent. Don't automatically extend them. Let them unwind easily, slowly, naturally. And eventually lie on your back, head on the bolster with a strap close by. So if you don't already have a strap close by, then obviously go get it. But this is a good opportunity to remind you, as you're practicing at home, to always have all your props close by, within arm's reach. Just in case. So lying on your back, head on the bolster, knees bent, feet on the floor. Feel that deep knee and ankle work in Virasana still working, still unwinding, still integrating. Good, and now, bring your attention to your hips, the stability of your hips, the groundedness of your hips, the weight of your hips on the floor under gravity. The shape of your hips, the texture of your hips, how exactly your hips contact the floor, the back body, pelvis. Your goal for the next little segment is to keep the hips just like this. Keeping your hips just like this, extend your right leg straight forward and hovering your heel just off the floor a couple inches. Good. Still maybe a little congested or unwinding from Virasana. So be mindful as you eventually extend your knee all the way straight. And then flex your right foot, bring your toes back towards you, press your heel away, and as you feel your heel moving away, feel as though the back of your leg is getting longer from behind. Good, the breath is still fluid, flowing, smooth. Still not forcing anything. Still in that always, already, unchanging place. With all the changes, all the changes, all the changes happening automatically. Good. Hips stay as they are. The abs may engage or they may not. It's not right or wrong, but it is possible to do this without engaging the abs. So don't necessarily think this is now a core workout, even though that might happen. Think mobility, think joints, as we've said before. Think functionality, think sensation. Feel, observe sensation. What the body's doing. Forget that this is yoga for a moment. Good. Keep all of that and lift your right leg straight up toward the ceiling. So knee stays straight, foot stays flexing, hinge just on your right hip. Pull it in as far as you can toward your shoulder, but without bending your knee or compromising anything else. Good. Now, keep your right foot flexing. Bend your right knee and pull it towards your right shoulder, but without using your hands. Just functional movement, bending your knee, flexing your foot, hinging on your right hip. Pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. Good. Once again, extend your right leg straight forward, hovering your heel. This time, point your right foot. Toes move forward and down, heel moves back. Articulate your toe knuckles. Close the sole of your foot like a fist or like a monkey grabbing a tree branch. Good. Keep that lifted up. Good. Keep your foot pointing. Bend your knee. Pull it to your right shoulder. Very nice. Right foot to the floor. Allow a couple breaths. Reset. Feel. Pause. Gather yourself together again. And on your own this time, repeat the left side. But remember the details. Hips, mobility. First round, flexing your left foot. Straight forward, straight up, bend your knee. And then second round, pointing your left foot. Go when you're ready. At about the same pace that I led you through, but take your time. You feel for the impulse. Incorporating whatever has seemed relevant or resonant with you from what I've been pointing to throughout today. Allow those compartments of consciousness to awaken on their own and root in more as a regular reality to draw from. after you're finished with the one round of flexing and one round of pointing, then left foot back to the floor, knees bent, no rush. And then grab your strap, hook it on the ball of your right foot, so closer to the toes, the ball of your right foot. Extend your right leg straight up. And keep it perpendicular 90 degrees or less. No need to go further towards your shoulder for this one. So either straight up and down or less than straight up and down. Good. Right foot stays relaxed. Right knee stays straight. Keep this angle that you've already found, most likely right at the edge of sensation. Once again, keep your hips stable as they are and slide your left leg straight forward on the floor. Good. Now, simultaneously, begin crossing your right leg to the left and turning your left leg to the right. Just turning it. So right leg is crossing to the left, left femur bone and the whole left leg is turning toward the midline as a unit with the same degree of rotation as the right leg going left. If your right hip lifts off the floor, you've gone too far. Stay grounded, stay stable. Good. And in fact, feel the right femur bone rooting and grounding into the floor. Knees bent. When you're ready, switch sides. Strap on the ball of your left foot and repeat on your own. Sliding right leg forward and crossing left leg to the right. No need to rush. Remember as many details as possible and let go the rest. Feels complete, uncross, release. Strap to the side. Interlace your fingers either under your head or under the bolster. Extend your legs forward, relaxing on the floor, hip width or wider. Close your eyes, let everything go. Breath by breath by breath, simply rest. Release your arms. Deep breath. Deep stretch. Make your way up to seated, hands at heart center. Namaste.